Hey folks, it's Ben. We're here with our 1993 Chevy Lumina APV, and you're asking yourself, gee Ben, what's it take to change the fuel filter out on this van? Well, let me tell you, it's actually not that hard. It's something you can totally do yourself. Now, I just happen to have a brand new one here. Are you any surprise that it's a Napa brand, Pro Select? Very discreet box, and we have a part number of 23484. We do have a 3800 Series 1, but I'm willing to bet this is for all. Maybe not. The 3.1's a TBI. This is a multi-port. But the cool part about this is GM filters come in three varieties. Threaded on both ends, snap in on one end and threaded on the other, and then my favorite, snap in on both ends. So we have a snap on each end here. So we're going to go underneath the car, which is actually right about where the mat is, where I'm laying down, because I kind of pre-checked it out. I think we have one, it's going to be an 8mm or a 10mm bolt to undo. Then we get to spray a bunch of gas on ourselves. The technical procedure would be to go up to the Schrader valve on the front of the vehicle and vent off any gas pressure, and I might actually do that, and I'll show you where that is. Then we'll come over, and it's essentially just squeezing these tabs here and pulling out the end. And do it for this side as well. Remove the old filter, put the new one in, click them in, and you're done. It's really easy to do, really basic maintenance type stuff. I'm changing mine not because of any particular issue, just because I don't know the last time it was changed. So now I'm gonna, put this in my record book of the mileage and when we changed it. About 500 miles ago, 400 miles ago, I put I've been putting 2 cans of seafoam through it. So hopefully we got some crap chewing up there. It's getting caught in the old filter. Perfect. Let's take that old filter out. Let's put a brand new one in here and we'll go from there. So let's find the Schrader valve and go ahead and make a mess in the engine bay with some gasoline. I was going to start this scene like right on top of it, but you kind of need to know where it is. So here's our 3800 Series 1 V6, and we keep zooming in, and on the fuel rail facing the firewall, we actually have this guy right here. Now, it's a Schrader valve's code for bicycle tire valve, or ones you have on your wheels. It's just essentially a valve like that. Now I would come in and actually take my fuel pressure reading, and I would attach it here, and then I would press the relief portion, and it would actually drain it into a container, and then would be all safe and sound. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and press the little center part here, and it's going to squirt fuel out if there's even fuel pressure in here, which I can smell that there is. But it's not an explosion. Now, it really depends on the condition of your fuel system as to how much fuel you're going to get out of this thing. If you have a leaky injector, well, it'll automatically drain for you and you won't have to worry. So we're under the van. Here's my big fuel tank. This van has hit a lot of stuff. A lot of the lower things have got white marks on them from when they've been hit. Door ends here, so we are just a little bit inboard of where the driver's door is. And we're on the inner frame rail, which is great because a lot of the rocks are over here and the filter is over here. We've got a 10mm bolt here that we're actually going to free if we can. And that's going to release our filter, hopefully. Just enough so we can hopefully, yeah, there we go, wiggle it around. Now, taking this filter off is easy, but understand that A, I forgot to bring a container, so I'm gonna have to stop and come back. And B, we're just squeezing and pulling the fuel line out. Little wiggle probably as we do it, but the white portion actually stays on the filter, and it's the black fuel line portion that actually comes out. Then we go grab a container that we can drip into, because this is full of fuel and this is full of fuel. It won't actually siphon out of the tank, but the line up to the top will actually drain out into our container. So now with our catch container, you got to pick a side to start with. I want to start with the hardest side because that's how I usually roll. Now the issue you might get is that rocks will have worked in and they won't let you actually compress. And in this case too, our line's a little, nope, it will wiggle around. Now I actually like to use, actually it's already leaking, that's not cool. So maybe that's not in the way. It's time to get this thing out of here, I guess. But we're actually going to push the white in, and this one's like ready to come off, so we will oblige it. And I've got safety glasses on, mostly for rocks, but there could be some gasoline dripping, and you don't want that in your eyes for sure.
And yeah, there's fuel coming out. So let's wiggle you off. This is where gloves would be probably a great idea, but so I kind of have to twist the line. I brought the light over here. I don't need you blocking it. Thank you. Grab a hold of each side of the white clip. There we go. And now wiggle it out. There she comes, and it's gonna spill as soon as we yank that out. Probably shoot at me, so let me get out of the way. Come on. You don't want to be there anymore. I know you don't. Just a little further. There you go. So this line is out. And we get drippage everywhere. But in one spot, so that's cool. Now this is where we will just let it drain out. Unless you brought another container. The line's actually fine. It's the filter it's now actually draining back through that line and then out the filter here. And what we actually can do, because the lip is actually on the front side, is actually wiggle this out and probably just drop it into our container. Since we're not under pressure anymore, well, you're gonna plug like that. Are you done? Okay. We'll just grab this other clip. And out she comes. So the fuel filter's out. We're almost done here. So we'll take our new fuel filter. It should have a direction of flow on it. Right here, arrow. So fuel is gonna come from the tank through here. So it's just like the old one. Let's pull the caps off. At least one of them right now. Put our fuel filter back in its bracket. Get the wiring out of the way. If you need more space, you can loosen the bracket some more, but we're gonna make this work. Take our fuel line and go click. So that one's in. Pull the cap off this end. Get our fuel line. Line up the clips. And it goes click, and make sure the white tab's engaged so the lines can't retract. And that's that. Now, before I tighten it up, make sure everyone's kind of happy with it there. Let's cycle the fuel pump a couple times. By turning it to on, it will pre-fill the system, and we'll check for leaks. So we'll take and wipe all this dirt and gasoline that's here out. And run it a couple times to make sure we're okay. So after 3 cycles, there's a little moist wetness here. So let's wiggle it a little more. I don't know if it dripped or not. Didn't seem like it did, but let's just do a couple more just to be sure. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and lock it down. No harm in that at this point. But the proof will be in the pudding. We'll keep an eye on it just to be double checked, but I think we are good to go. So if you guys have any questions on how to change a fuel filter, feel free to ask. Comments, leave them, and subscribe to my channel, Turbo231, for more exciting videos. We'll see you next time.